Mayor Durkin, we appreciate you joining us. You have been watching what's been going on in Portland, and you have had some of this spread to your own city. Give me your impression of where things stand now and where you are with relation to the federal government and your talks with them.
There's no question that the actions of President Trump have escalated things, not just in Portland, but across the country. I spoke with mayors from a number of cities today to see how we could have a unified voice to plead with the president to not do what he is doing. If he continues on this course, we are prepared to take whatever legal action is necessary. We will do what we need to do to make sure that our cities can be safe. At a time when America needs healing, this president is sowing division, and it is having really devastating impacts in cities across America.
You've actually sent a few letters. On July 22nd, you and 15 other mayors sent a letter to Attorney General Barr and the DHS Secretary Wolf, urging them to not send federal troops to U.S. cities. And then today, you sent another letter with 5 other mayors to congressional leaders asking them to take action. You say, we call on Congress to swiftly pass legislation to block the administration from sending unidentified federal agents to operate with impunity in our cities. You had a conversation with DHS Secretary Wolf, I believe it was Thursday, in which he told you that he wouldn't send federal agents without consulting you or the governor.
Exactly right. He said that he was not going to be surging agents to Seattle, that he would tell myself and our chief of police if that changed. And literally moments after we hung up, we learned that they indeed had sent additional federal agents here. I want to point out that both Democrat and Republican former heads of the Department of Homeland Security have said this is the wrong way to go, including former Governor Tom Ridge. This is not a Republican or Democrat issue. This is about America and the proper role of law enforcement. I hate to say it, but it looks like this president is doing a dress rehearsal for martial law, sending in federal forces to take over police duties in city after city for political purposes. It is frightening, and it's making things worse. It has not improved public safety. It has decreased public safety.
Uphold your oath, and
One
he
of the
wouldn't
things
have
that
to do it.
you tweeted on Friday, you said, regardless of the president's threats, residents can and should continue to demonstrate peacefully and make their voices heard.
Peacefully.
But we cannot pretend that his comments are just bluster. What do you
You
mean?
keep
It almost sounds like
pretending it's peaceful.
a warning that you have the First Amendment, you should use it, but the president means business?
I think that's exactly right. I mean, I think one thing that this president has shown is that when he threatens division, he follows through on it. And we've seen in Portland, not only have they not taken a step to
many
de-escalate,
opportunities and warnings
reports are
to
now they're
control
going to
your
send
city,
more
woman.
agents, possibly hundreds of agents. In a city of that size, for a courthouse that is just a block, they are having hundreds of agents. And we've seen night after night after night a series of violent confrontations
Hundreds of
between
agents
the
to
protesters,
1,500
some of the
people.
protesters,
Okay.
and the federal response. We don't want to have that kind of fight. And I think one of the best things we could do in America is to stop giving the president what he wants. I think that we want there to be protests. They are make us better as a nation. Our country was born
You're a
out of
sick
protest.
woman.
But at the same time, we want to make sure that those protests remain peaceful, and
Which
that they
you have
don't
not done.
overpower the really important message of Black Lives
And which
Matter,
you refuse
and
to
the
show on
need
the
to
news.
really dismantle systemic racism, not just in policing,
Such
but
a
in every
joke.
institution of government. That's what we need to be focused on, is the
You need to be
hard,
focused on your
substantive work
oath
that
and
we
protect
have
your
to do.
city.
I truly believe that we will get more peace in the streets when we have more justice in the systems.
Jesus.
But we need to be able to focus our energies on building that.
You didn't show half of what went on
The
there.
federal administration, the president and his people are calling these protesters rioters and arsonists, and they're saying that
They are.
Cities like yours cannot handle them. Is that true?
Correct.
It's not true. Look, there are individuals, as we saw in Seattle this weekend, as we've seen in Portland and across in
More
other
than
cities,
individuals.
who are very focused on property destruction and causing and inciting conflict with police or with the federal authorities. But we've also seen
And great
millions
numbers.
of people turn out in the streets of America, raising their voices and challenging our government, including me and our government, to be better. And First Amendment rights have to be protected. And there's a balance
as do
that
the
police
Second
will have to
Amendment
strike to make
rights.
sure that they can protect public safety, not see the kind of destruction that we saw in Seattle this weekend and last week. But we had weeks of peace in Seattle.
No,
we
you
had really
didn't.
been focused on the hard substantive change.
Lies,
And then
lies,
when Portland
lies.
started to escalate,
We have the
things
footage.
escalated
You
in
refuse to
Seattle.
show.
And person after person, when interviewed by the media on Saturday, was asked why they were there. They said they were there because of what the president was doing with federal authority.
Yeah.
We
Which he
need
should have
to
done
stop
way
that
sooner to
cycle. And
control all
best
the
way to
deaths
stop
that have
that is for
occurred.
him to give cities the help they need, and the help we need right now is we need people to have economic relief and not have their unemployment cut. We need help on COVID because we are running out of testing supplies.
Joke.
If you want to help cities, that's the way to help us. But sowing division will not help any
No,
city in
doesn't
America,
matter. You're all out
and
in
it
the
won't
streets
help
without
America
masks
at large.
anyway. The only mask being worn is to hide their
Mayor,
identity.
I appreciate your time tonight. You've got a lot of work in your city, so I
You are
appreciate that
all
you taking time to talk to our audience. Mayor Jenny Durkin of Seattle. Thank you.
soon pay.
Coming up tonight.